Hi, I'm Marybeth Van Horn and welcome to Nurse Chats. Today I'd like to talk about posture. Basically, it seems that every single physical therapist that I know or have been involved with talks about what they call a forward head position. And that seems like a great issue in all people. Except the very fit people. But as people age, as people weaken skeletally and muscularly, you can see a forward head position often, and or rounded shoulders. So it looks like this. I'll sit sideways, but it's a rounded shoulder, forward head. And I used to say when I was a personal trainer, you know, how many people are walking around the malls with their drink in their hand like this, you know, looking at everything. And it's sometimes it's just a habit. Other times it's basically laziness or being unaware. When you work with a trainer, a physical therapist, or anybody who works with posture, chiropractors and things, you know, you're asked to bring your chin in. My daughter Erin, who's a personal trainer and is a health practitioner, will say tall spine. So you bring your, like, really feel like you're bringing your head up. And as soon as you begin to lengthen your spine just that much, you become more alert and you can become more efficient in your nervous system. We all know what a spinal cord is. It runs through your the back of your body, through your what we call the spine, right? So that's the spinal cord, and then it has several offshoots from the cord that are the nerve roots. Okay, so if you impinge them by this kind of a posture, or you're always impinging that area, the consequences become great, because eventually things break down, things don't work as well. So posture matters, right? So it's a great thing to have a reminder about posture. I know many people have a Fitbit and it reminds them to get up and walk every hour. And when you do that, maybe another thing you could do is just go ahead and work on your spine at the same time. So if you get off your computer or your phone, get up and walk, and then lengthen your spine, pull your chin in. You don't have to be oversensitive about pulling your shoulders way back, but chin in, shoulders back, okay? And then as you're walking, be aware of what is happening. Again, and my daughter talks all about the walking is, when we talk about gait, okay? Walking is how, the gait is how you walk. And so you cannot overtrain your walking. It's something like that. It's like walking is essential. So most people, you can't outtrain your walking, your gait. No matter what you do with the rest of your body, what you're doing mostly through the day is either walking or sitting, right? So most of us are walking, hopefully, to some extent, more than the sedate people who have less than 1,000 steps a day. Some people are up to 20,000 steps a day. So you got both ends of the spectrum, right? Overdoing, underdoing. But basically, if you're always walking on the side of your foot and then striking the ground, or, you know, inward walking, there's all kinds of ways that the foot works, right? So it should be a strike, roll through, right? So with a straight foot, you know, I can't tell you how many people I observe, and just because I was a personal trainer, I see a lot of people walking with one foot out like that, and then they walk like that. People, again, who don't realize they're limping or favoring one side, or just take those two. Over a lifetime, if it's never been observed or noticed and you keep doing it, or there's a hip discrepancy, one's higher than another, or, you know, walking on old shoes or shoes that are not helpful, that will matter over time, because you will have degeneration accelerated, and problems from poor gait, poor posture. It all works together, right? Every so often, I keep saying this, but it's okay to, I think it would be a good thing to have somebody once, at least just once, evaluate certain things that I'm talking about on these nurse chats, have pay for one physical therapy visit, or have your insurance, go to your doctor and say, I'd like to have, I have a hip issue or whatever it is, and get some physical therapy just to look at how systems are working all together in your gait, especially. Shoes, orthotics, braces, things that people add to help stabilize something. I would do that with the help of a professional rather than just see it in a magazine and throw it on. Because you're not looking at the whole. You're looking at, oh gosh, my knee, my foot, my ankle, my wrist, whatever. And something you think is going to, you've paid money for, that you think is going to correct things, may end up hurting in the long run. So I guess that's what I would say about all of that, is that it's good to be evaluated every so often. It's good to check yourself, or have somebody take a photograph of you. Now we can take selfies. You can use your phone or something to take a picture of your regular stance and see if you have a forward head, or if you round your shoulders, or throw your foot out. You could take a video of yourself and see how you walk. And it's kind of funny. We're coming out, my company's coming out with the first ever virtual caregiver. And, there's mixed emotions from people about the concept that we're going to, in the future, be able to do more. It scares some people, or it's intrigues other people, whatever. But the name of that caregiver is going to be Addison. But anyway, Addison is, a virtual, virtual care. So she can, with her computer or her artificial intelligence and all, can look at how you're walking and notice if there's a difference. And that's the technology of the future. That's going to be pretty amazing. That kind of technology can tell if you're swallowing differently from one day to the next, or if you have a difference in your like, if one eye or some side of your face is drooping, or a variety of observations that can be made within seconds, which before that, up until that, when she comes out, we're basically slower, observing something or not available. I mean, in your own home, so it's the world of technology just intrigues me. I've been an intensive care nurse in my early career, and that's why I think part of it is innate in me, is that I'm really very, 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 very interested in technology, because I've worked with it and was an early pioneer in nursing with intensive care unit, and we had technology all around us. So, when I heard about artificial intelligence and how it's going to change the world as far as we know it today, regarding care and being able to stay in your home and all that stuff, it was really quite enticing for me to want a career in that. So that's why I went with electronic caregiver. But anyway, it's your gait, getting back to your gait and how it's going to be in the future. Potentially, computerized stuff that can get it very fine honed. But you can go to a trainer or a physical therapist, or anybody who's skilled, who can literally kind of help you, to give you some tips as to what exercises would be best for you at this time. There are exercises that'll strengthen your rotator cuff, and they're simple. Basically put your arm in and out. My husband got a dislocated shoulder recently, and so he's doing these exercises from physical therapy, and it takes him just minutes, literally minutes. It's not a big fat workout with a lot of sweat or anything. And the same with gait training. Gait training has its own exercises and awareness. So eventually then, if you do it enough, exercise and become aware and, kind of keep trying to correct, hopefully it'll be incorporated just into your natural way of walking or sitting. And like I say, poor posture is the culprit when it comes to many, many, many conditions. It's impinging in the spine, it's causing limping, it's causing whatever ever, and then you now have a hip problem. It goes on and on. So posture matters. If you want more information about that, posture, tips, I'm happy to ask the physical therapist I know and give you some free info. Till we meet again, this is Nurse Chats. Thanks for coming.